So if I have gluten sensitivity and have not been diagnosed, what am I feeling? What sort of symptoms am I going through and conditions, things like
That's
that?
really a good question. What are you feeling? The answer is really great. I love this answer. It's by Dr. Rodney Ford, who's a pediatric gastroenterologist, and he was a pioneer. He started talking about this in the mid-90s, and many people